checking the error, it simply says that the key that I'm using is incorrect, and we use lowercase subdomain, and that it has to be valid for these regex. So let me change this to my super secret key, and this is gonna be my keys now. To be able to connect, but before publishing this, I'm gonna edit my pipeline, my release pipeline. I'm gonna click here, edit. In the job, we're gonna change here, we're going to the secrets, and we change. We'll save this. And let's run everything from the continuous integration pipeline. In the history, we'll change the secret key, and let's commit fixing file. We'll save the file. Then we'll push. I'm gonna be committing the change in the other files while the continuous integration pipeline is running, just to have them ready. Save file and commit. I'm not gonna push it until I have my continuous delivery pipeline ready for these applications too. Just save it. Let's go to releases. We need to see here release 3. Once the continuous integration pipeline finishes running, you can go to the pipelines to check the status. Let's go to the job. Almost finished publishing. When finished, let's go to the releases. It was deployed. Let's go again, and we go to the AKS. Go to the resource, workloads, and we can see that our application history is running. And both pods are running successfully. The container is also running. The state is running, so it is working fine. The image is 31. Okay. We click here. We should get the IP. Once this is, we see that this is running, we're gonna configure the next release pipelines. Let's create a new one. The first one, this one, maybe edit the name to continuous deployment for our transactions. This is history. We go to the releases, we create a new release. We just create the release. This is the manual way to release applications, but for the next continuous deployments pipelines, we need to click here, create new release pipeline from empty job. The job is going to be continuous deployment for security. We select the artifact again. This is made for security. Remember that we need to click here to enable continuous integration, and we need to go to the job, change the job name to continuous deployment for security job. We select our Azure Pipelines. The agent is going to be Ubuntu. And second, we create some tasks. So replace token. The replace token, we select our directory. That is going to be this one. The YAML file is the one that is going to be looking for, and this is the pattern. We are to kubectls to then apply it configuration file. We use the Kubernetes resource manager. We select the connection that we already created, the resource group, Kubernetes cluster, use Kubernetes cluster, admin credentials. In the command, we are going to apply the configuration to which file, the YAML file, secret same secret. Secret name Azure registry, select my connection, go to advanced, delete the version, always check for the latest version. We save this, and we can create the release, but we need to push the changes first for security. On security. While this one is running, let's go to create a new pipeline release. Continuous deployment history. Release. I'm going to create a new one. Empty job. Account. We need to select the artifact. Continuous integration for account. We click on the trigger to be triggered after we finish the continuous integration pipeline. We go to the job. We change the agent job. Continuous delivery account job. Select the Azure pipeline from our agent pool. Select Ubuntu, and inside the agent account job, we select some new task. Here, replace token. Again, we select our main folder. Make sure that the file is here. The YAML file is the one that is going to be replacing using this token pattern, and then we create the kubectl to run the apply command. We select the Azure Resource Manager, the connection that we created before, or resource group, and the cluster Kubernetes. We need to use the cluster admin credentials for this. The command that we're going to be running is apply to the configuration file. We need to pass the secret to be able to pull the image. And we use the latest version. Save this. Let's go to releases to make sure that it was triggered, the history. Okay, now it's time to trigger the account. And lastly, we need to create a new release pipeline. The empty job is going to be so it was history, account, security, and transaction. select the artifact, the transaction. We enable to be triggered after the continuous integration finishes. We go to the job, change the agent job, deployment, transaction job. We select our agent pool from the Azure Pipelines, and it's gonna be running on Ubuntu. Then we need to grab the actual file and change the version of the latest image by replacing the token. We select our root, make sure that the file is here, the YAML file, and the pattern we are looking for. Then we add the kubectl to run the apply configuration. Select Azure Resource Manager, select our connection, the resource group, our Kubernetes clusters. We select that they has to use the cluster admin credentials. The command we're gonna run the apply command. We're gonna use the configuration to select the file path. In the secrets, we also select our connection, our registry, and the secret key. And lastly, in advance, we want to make sure we always use the expression. So, and we run our transaction. We push the changes, so it is going to run the continuous integration pipeline, and after it's finished, it should be triggering the continuous delivery. Now push. Let's go to the pipelines. Make sure this one is running. The release for the account is already done, and for security. So if we go to the Kubernetes cluster, we should see them in our workloads. The history, security, and account are running successfully. We need to wait for the last one. To be able to have access, we need to go to the services and ingresses. This is the service that we deployed. This is the type load balancer, and this is the IP address. If we want to have access, we copy the IP, and to make sure it's working, we go to the Kubernetes environment, we replace the IP, and we are gonna be able to run the security API. And as we can see, we are executing our application in Kubernetes. Let's do the same thing with the others. Security, history, go to manage environment, history, is the report. Account, And lastly, we need to wait for the transactions. Let's refresh this. We've already finished. Copy the IP, external IP, and replace here. Withdraw and deposit. And let's make sure it's working. We're using Kubernetes. Let's go to the account. It's bringing me all the information. Using the database, let's make a transaction. The amount is going to be 222. The deposit was success. Let's withdraw. Let's withdraw 333. And let's check the report for the user account ID 1. Let's send this. And we shall see the deposit and the withdraw. And we finished setting up our application, our Azure Kubernetes, and we finished also setting up the Azure Pipeline Continuous Delivery using the release in the Azure repos.